Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to East Carolina versus Wake Forest college football here on ESPN as we get set to watch the Pirates and Demon Deacons go head-to-head here in week one of the college season. A lot of excitement here on the Wake Forest campus as the Demon Deacons come in as the number 7 ranked team in the country, as they'll take on a tough in-state opponent in Eastern Carolina. I hope that you all enjoy the game, as let's get to it. Back here at BB&T Field, once again getting you set for kickoff at the EA Sports pregame show here as the Eastern Carolina Pirates and Wake Forest Demon Deacons are just about underway. Coin toss is up. Eastern Carolina takes it, and they will kick off to start the half. So the Demon Deacons season starts off right about now. Kick is away, and it's going to be back into the end zone for a touchback. That is Joe Watson back there, the redshirt junior returning kicks. We'll see what this Demon Deacon squad can come out. See if they can score here on this opening drive. We'll see what their strategy is. Like East Carolina coming out in a 3-4 defense. Wake Forest to start off in 21 personnel. Merritt drops back, blitz is on, finds his tight end, that's Ward out to the sideline. He breaks the tackle, he's down at the 50, down to the 40, shoves a man off and all the way down to the 37-yard line. Big play to open up the game for J.R. Ward on the strike from Deshaun Merritt. That's how you beat the blitz right there. Demon Deacons working quickly as they break the huddle, this time coming out in 3 wide. Eastern Carolina in the nickel set. Merritt takes the snap, another blitz on. Merritt going to the outside. That ball almost picked off by the cornerback. Nice play that time, number 21 for Eastern Carolina, as he tried to force that one into coverage. After the incompletion, let's see what Wake Forest has here. Once again, coming out 3 wide set, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Merritt. And it looks like we're going to have a false start. That looked to be on the right tackle, Eric Davis. As yes, indeed it was. So an incompletion and now a penalty after the big play to open up the ball game. This is not what the Deacons want to do here. So their coach will try to get them to reset and calm down a little bit as they come out in shotgun once again, 11 personnel. Merritt checks at the line. Snap is away, another blitz on for the Pirates, and Merritt almost sacked, took a big hit in the pocket. He was just able to get the ball away before taking another big loss. And the Pirates defense has really stepped up after that big play to open up the ball game. So 3rd and 15, right around midfield for the Deacons here, see if they can get some yard back, potentially try a field goal. Snap away, looks like a screen pass, dumps it off to Boyd in the backfield. He's got some space to the outside, all the way down to the 30. He couldn't quite get the 15, looks like he got 12. And the Deacons are going to be forced to take a field goal attempt here. Snap down, kick is up, and it is going to just gust off to the right side. Looks like that one got grabbed by the wind. So nothing doing for the Demon Deacons on their opening drive of the game as Harold Allen misses the tough field goal. Here we see an in-studio update. Boston College takes down Massachusetts to open up the weekend, as does LSU over Indiana. And a close game for Indiana, couldn't quite pull out the upset. So following the no score on that drive for the Deacons, we'll see what the Pirates have to offer here on offense as they'll start from their own 30. Pirates come out in 4 wide. Hill drops back to pass, and that one is thrown almost into the hands of number 40. That's Mike Neal, the senior cornerback. Didn't make a play on the ball, just knocked it down. Perhaps could have taken that one if he recognized. But a bad pass that time from Hill, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Once again, 4 wide for the Pirates. Another pass play. Looks like the Deacons are in zone, and Hill is forced to throw this ball out of bounds, as looks like there was nobody open. The Deacons pass rush getting to him a little bit. Nice zone coverage on the play that time, and it'll be 3rd and 10 here for the Pirates. Crowd starting to make some noise as they go into pass once again. Some pressure up the middle, and ooh, that one almost picked off. Nice play that time by the free safety. That is number 40, that's Mike Neal. The cornerback almost had another interception, but give him 2 pass knockdowns for the game. It's a quick 3 and out for the Pirates. Punt is away. Watson back, the star receiver and punt returner. He takes it at around the 30. It's a few yards, and he's going to be out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line, as the Deacons get set for their second offensive drive of the game. This time coming out 4 wide, bunch to the right. Quick pitch that way for the Deacons. Boyd got the corner. He's to the outside, and he's going to gain 8 yards on a nice run that time by Jamel Boyd. His first touch of the ball game. Deacons once again moving quickly here on offense. Get the snap in, or get the call in. Get ready for the snap. Pirates have a couple of guys up close to the line of scrimmage. This one's going to be a handoff to Boyd once again to the right side. Able to get just enough, 2.5 yards on that play, and that'll be a first down Deacons. Just about midfield, 2 yards shy of the 50, as the Deacons are set up on the right hash. This time coming out with a fullback, Bradford in the game here for his first snap of the game. Play action and a dump off to the fullback as he just steps out of bounds. Ran over a defender, picks up 5, and a nice dump off pass from Deshaun Merritt over to Caleb Bradford. Again, this Wake team, very interesting. Only players from North Carolina on the team. A big change in recruiting philosophy for this coach, as they once again line up in an I formation. As Merritt able to get the ball to Anthony Rich, the sophomore, unable to keep himself in bounds, and picks up just 2 yards on that crossing pattern, as Wake Forest is at the inside enemy territory, just about at the 45-yard line. This time split backs for Merritt in shotgun. Dumps it off to the right, and looks like it's number 85 there. Wasn't quite looking at the ball. That is Anthony Tucker, the backup fullback in the ball game. And he just couldn't get his head around in time, and the Deacons are going to be forced to kick this ball away. Punt is up, and it's a good one. Bounces down around the 3. Couldn't quite keep it out of the end zone. A nice boot for Alex Campbell, but that's going to be a touchback, and a little bit disappointing for him. First punt of the year. Only about 25 net yards on that one. Could have been a little better if he got a better bounce. Pirates back to work on offense. Once again going 4 wide. This time strike out to Hall to the outside. Nice pass by Hill, as Jim Hall is going to be able to pick up 11 yards for the first down. Pirates in hurry-up mode, as they're going to force the Deacons defense to stay on the field unless they substitute, which it looks like they will not. Still 4 wide, 1 running back in the backfield. It's going to be a quick wide receiver screen. That's Falk takes the ball in near his own 35 and able to pick up 6 yards on the play. Pirates still going rather quickly here on offense. It's like some pressure showing from the outside. The strong safety coming down. Good pressure that time by the Deacons defense, but able to find Brad Bennett towards the right sideline. Picks up 2 yards, and not quite enough for a first down. And it looks like it'll be a long 2 yards to boot. Deacons looking to get a stop here, as the Pirates offense working extremely well, but a big time hit in the backfield. That's Tommy Gilmore, the stud right end senior, able to blow up that option play and stop Jim Hill in the backfield for a loss and another 4th down. It's going to see the Pirates punt the ball away. big time play that time by the leader on defense. Watson back to receive yet another punt. Takes this one in a little bit shy of the 20. Not much room, able to almost break away. Almost got stripped, in fact. He's out to about the 27-yard line. Here we see the early returns. Some good pressure by both teams. Neither able to get to the quarterback, however. Got a couple of pass knockdowns for both squads. As it's been a little bit slow starting here on offense for both teams. Merritt now in ace. 2 tight ends to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Takes the snap. Slant across the middle. This one not quite where he wanted to put that one. Might have been tipped at the line. A little tough to see. That'll fall incomplete on first down. Let's bring up second down here for the Deacons as they've got everybody in tight. Hand off to the right as Boyd once again going to that right side, unable to bounce it. It's just 2 yards on that play. Good backside pursuit by the defensive end for the Pirates. So Deacons backed up in their own territory. Ball at the 29, maybe 28.5-yard line. Need the 38 to get a first down. 4 wide here for the Deacons. Merritt drops back. He's got the seam. He's got the seam. And that is a big-time strike. J.R. Ward, tight end, playing receiver that time. He broke by the linebacker. Nobody over the top. Not the best ball, but Ward able to adjust and pick up a huge gain all the way down to the 34 inside Pirate territory. Yeah, that's the second big play of the ball game for the Deacons. Let's see if they can get some points here on this drive. It's again 3 wide for the Deacons, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Looks like it's an option play. Hands off to Boyd. Spin move. Breaks the tackle, and he gets 11 yards on a very tough run for Jamel Boyd. Nice. Able to keep the legs churning up the middle. And the Deacons are knocking on the red zone. Pirates showing some pressure. Boyd Merritt checks with his coaches. 4 wide. Takes the drag route underneath. That one not the best play, or not the best throw. There's a defender right there. But we're going to have a penalty in that play. It's going to be a clipping call on Ron Capps. So that's going to back up Wake Forest quite a bit. And it's going to bring up 1st and 23. So another big penalty here in the first quarter for the Deacons. We'll see if they can recover from that. Pirates sticking with their 3-4 defense. 1 tight end, 2 running backs here for the Deacons. Bradford in motion going left to right. Hands the ball off to Tucker in the ball game. He's got some space on the right side. Anthony Tucker takes the handoff here as he goes for 10 yards on second down. Of course, he had the dropped pass earlier in the quarter. Could have broken some yards. That time makes up for it. Bit of an interesting formation here for the Deacons. They've got 4 wide, including 1 tight end to the left. Takes a snap, blitzes on, and the pressure looks like it got to Deshaun Merritt that time as he threw that one off his back foot, incomplete into the dirt, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 13 from the 26-yard line. Deacons would really love a first down here, or perhaps a touchdown. They do not want to settle for 3 after that big-time play by J.R. Ward earlier on in the drive. Another screen pass. This one flipped out to Boyd on the left side. He's got a little bit of space, unable to break through the 2nd and 3rd tacklers. So he's going to pick up just 9 yards. He needed 13. And once again, Wake Forest forced to send their special teams unit out. See if Harold Allen can put this one through the uprights. Snap is down, kick is up. This time it's right down the middle. So Wake Forest jumps out to the lead. First lead of the ball game, 3-0 here. A little under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Allen lines up the kickoff, and he drills that one deep a few yards in the end zone. And this one's going to be taken by Fisher back there for a touchback. So Eastern Carolina will have an opportunity from their own 20-yard line to try to answer after allowing a field goal on that last possession. Defense was stopped earlier in the quarter, that last drive, after a failed option attempt. Tommy Gilmore with the big play for the Deacons last drive. Pirates set up in 4 wide once again. This pass out to the left side to Jim Hall, his second reception of the ball game rather, goes for just 3 yards. As the Pirates once again holding true to that no huddle type look. Hill takes the snap. He's going to fire this one to the outside. Looks like he had an open receiver there. Number 83 was running clear. But a bit of an overthrow that time for Jeff Hall. Looks like the Deacons might have gotten away with that one. Now to bring up 3rd and 7. Once again, Pirates coming out in 4 wide. The pass is over to the right side. This one falls incomplete once again. I think Hill might have had a couple of better options. It's like he's trying to force it to his number 1 receiver. No luck for him that drive, and the Pirates going to be forced to punt the ball away once again. Nice boot for the punter. This one's going to be taken in at the 25 by Watson. It's 1 block. Nice little spin move to get a couple of extra yards. Just 7 on the play, however. As the Deacons will try to add on to their lead with a 1.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Come out in 12 personnel once again. 1 tight end, 2 running backs. It's like play action. Ooh, Merritt looks like he tried to get that one off. Smartly, however, pulled it down as he gets taken down in the backfield by Sidney Peterson. Good move that time by the end. The right tackle just couldn't hold him off long enough for Merritt to get that pass off. So first sack of the ball game for either side. As the Deacons once again take a big loss. It's been kind of the game so far for them. Big plays on both ways. Big losses and big gains. As now they come out 3 wide. Well, drag route underneath to Ward. He's running a little clear. J.R. Ward, another nice reception, picks up 7.5 yards. 82 reception yards here in the first quarter for the tight end. As that sets up a 3rd and manageable, however, still 3rd and long. They're going to need another big play here. Let's look for Ward here on this play. He broke free last time when they needed a big play on 3rd down. Merritt takes the snap. And he throws an interception to Griffin over the middle. Bad mistake by Deshaun Merritt that time. Looks like he tried to force it into his crossing route, as Eastern Carolina is going to take over. Danny Griffin jumps that route very easily. Just not a good decision that time, as Merritt was looking for Bobby Larson, his standout wide receiver. And now Eastern Carolina knocking on the door that quickly. They've got a chance to tie or maybe even take the lead. They come out here with 5 wide receivers. Blitz is on by Wake Forest, and a bad decision once again by Jeff Hill. Just fires that one out of bounds. It's like the pressure up front is getting to him a little bit here in this first quarter. Eastern Carolina coming out in 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 2 to the left. As Sparks, big time play that time by the left end. Kevin Sparks, the true senior, got in the face of Hill and forced an incompletion. He's lucky that ball was not ruled a fumble. As now Eastern Carolina looking to get 10 yards. Demon Deacons looking to force a 3rd down stop. And indeed they get it. Jeff Hill had his receiver that time. I don't think the receiver would have had enough for a 1st down. Would have had to break 1 tackle, if not 2 or 3. So the Pirates forced to try a field goal here. Snap down, kick is up, and it's a good one right down the pipes. So after the interception by Wake Forest, Eastern Carolina comes back and ties it up. So here we take a look at the potential upset alert. Texas on the road against Maryland, leading by just 7 points here, still early in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if the Terrapins can make some noise here as they try to pull off a top 10 upset here, week 1 of the season. Kickoff once again is away. This is Watson taking it deep in the end zone, and he's just going to take the touchback. as the Deacons will look to get a little bit more going here on this offensive series. Last time out ended with an interception by Deshaun Merritt. Coming out, two running backs, one tight end again. This one's handed off to the right to Boyd once again. This time nowhere to go for Jameel Boyd. And it looks like that's going to end the first quarter as we are tied with a score of 0-0. Bit of a surprising result here. The number 7 team in the nation is looking a little bit sluggish here to start off the season. Bit of a slow start here for the number 7 Wake Forest Demon Deacons at home against Eastern Carolina. Speaking of, let's go around, take a look at the preseason top 10, highlighted by Oklahoma, Miami, Notre Dame, and Florida State in the top 4. Of course, Miami coming off a national championship just a year ago. They are the team to beat in what should be a very tough ACC this season. Welcome back to quarter number 2 here on ESPN as we are here live at Wake Forest. So we are watching the Eastern Carolina Pirates and Wake Forest Demon Deacons duke it out here in game 1 of the season. Deshaun Merritt starts off the second quarter with a pass to Jameel Boyd. That one hits the helmet of his running back. A little bit trouble for Deshaun Merritt here in this game. Not quite able to find that rhythm with his running backs. He's overthrown a couple of them so far here in this ball game. Now 4 wide for the Deacons as ECU sends a blitz, and that blitz works. Deshaun Merritt unable to make a decision, and Skip Floyd registers Eastern Carolina's second sack of the ball game. That time a free rusher from the secondary. Might have had a guy open down the middle, but not quite enough time for Merritt to get that ball out of here. So the Deacons force the punt once again as ECU brings the pressure on. Good punt by the junior Alex Campbell. That time in the face of some pressure, able to boot that ball all the way down inside the 36-yard line. ECU facing a long field. They scored last time out with the benefit of a short field this time. Hill fires it over the middle. Couldn't connect with his receiver once again as that one falls to the turf. He's had some real issues getting the ball out quickly here today. 4 wide once again for the Pirates. Pass rush is on. This time Hill dumps it out to McBride on the right sideline, able to get 5 yards on the play. Sets up a 3rd and short 5, it appears, for the Pirates. As they drop back to pass once again. This time throws it to Cooper, who came back to that ball. Darren Cooper, I think he might have caught that ball on the other side of the first down marker. His momentum carried him towards the ball, and he is unable to pick up those 3 yards that he needs. And that's going to force a 4th down and another punt for the Pirates. From zone 35, this one's booted out to Watson, takes it in at the 11-yard line. Nasty looking hit that time. Joe Watson able to pick up 9 yards. He's been able to have a couple of returns, but not quite able to bust anything loose so far here in the ball game. With their punter, Eastern Carolina will have to watch out. They cannot outkick their coverage. It's never a good thing if you are a special teams unit. As Boyd takes this handoff on the left side, and it looks like Jameel Boyd might be down with an injury. Have to check on him a little bit later. No, he's in there. He's in there. Stayed down for an extra second, but he popped it back up. So Deacons going 3 wide receivers to the left. J.R. Ward, tight end. Blitz coming this time. Merritt finds Rich over the middle. Nice little spin move to pivot off that right foot. Anthony Rich turns it upfield, and he's able to pick up a 1st down out to the 33. Wake Forest once again coming out 3 wide. This time looks like Eastern Carolina in a nickel package. Draw play here to Boyd, who is able to get out of some pressure. Looks like the defensive lineman might have had him. Boyd with a little shifty move to cut it upfield, picks up 6 yards on the draw play. Creating a very good opportunity for this Deacon offense, as they are just outside of their 40-yard line. 3 wide once again. Merritt takes the snap. He's going to dump it off to Boyd to the left side. Boyd couldn't break away. I'm just calling that one a 0-yard reception. And that'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Deacons. Just 1 of 6 today on 3rd down. They're going to have to get it going if they're going to want to win this ball game. 3 wide once again, as we've seen plenty of times here. Merritt takes a snap. Feels some pressure. He's rolling to the right. Looks like he's got an angle. He's going to cut it upfield. He's out to the 50, down to the 42-yard line. Nice scramble that time for Deshaun Merritt. Able to use those legs. The first time we've really seen him run today. So we see one of the linebackers almost had him from behind, but Merritt just a little bit too quick. Picks up a big-time gain on 3rd down. And all the way inside Pirate territory, down to the 42-yard line. Their 6th first down of the ball game. Free safety coming up for the Pirates as they're in their nickel set. 4 receivers, or 3 receivers and Ross out there. And a dangerous throw that time. Larry Carroll popped in front of that one, knocked it down with that big left hand of his. It's like Merritt tried to force that one into Ward that time. Couldn't quite see who the intended receiver was. But he's going to have to settle down a little bit. Checks at the line. Looks like ECU's playing some press coverage. This ball handed off to Boyd in the backfield. Nice run that time for Jamil Boyd. 6 yards once again. Brings up a 3rd and very manageable 4 yards. Now down to the 36. And you know, this might be 4 down territory for the Demon Deacons. They've got a good kicker, but if ever there was a time to go aggressive early in the ballgame, this might be it. 3 receiver set for the Deacons. Snap is away. Slant route to Larson. Bobby Larson. Big time catch. 13 yards on 3rd and 4. And he is all the way inside the 25-yard line. A nice throw that time from Deshaun Merritt on that timing route. Brings him all the way to the 24. And Larson's first catch of the ballgame. Shotgun set here for the Deacons. As Pirates have a lot of guys close tight to the line. Snap away. Another blitz. This one floated in behind the defender. Excellent pass by Merritt. Finds, I think that was Anthony Rich that time. No, excuse me, Andy Harmon. Caught that ball, spun away from one tackler, and able to almost punch it into the end zone. Dragged down by the strong safety inside the 5-yard line, and the Demon Deacons really knocking on the door now. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Deacons coming out with 2 receivers to the left, 1 tight end, 2 running backs. So when handed off to Boyd, he's got some space and he's in for 6. Jamel Boyd, 3-yard touchdown run. First touchdown of the year for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons comes on the strength of their senior running back. And that puts them up by a score of 9-3 with the extra point still to go. Down, up, and away, and it is good. So Wake Forest, a nice long drive that time by the Deacons. 10 plays, 75 yards, and they jump out to a 10-3 lead here at home in their first game of the year. Kickoff is away. Once again, a very nice boot by Harold Allen, the kicker and kickoff specialist. As ECU will take that for a touchback once again, as they'll set up shop from their own 25. And if the Pirates are going to want to get back in this ball game, again, they've really got to rely on the throwing capabilities of Hill. It's not been great so far. We'll see if that improves as the day goes on. As this ball is handed off to McBride, he's got a big hole, and he is all the way out to the 47-yard line. 22 yards on the ground on 1st down, and a big-time gash that time by the running back. ECU once again working very quickly up front. This one's taken back, and a nice floating pass to Jim Hall from Hill. 6-yard gain that time. Jim Hall's third reception of the ball game. Hill almost back to 50%. And he's really got to start taking some more downfield shots as we get on throughout this ball game. 2nd and 4 now inside opponent territory. Hill drops back once again, a nice crossing route. Once again, Brad Bennett takes it in, another 6-yard reception. As they're taking a very methodical approach here on this drive here in the second quarter, as they look to respond to Wake Forest touchdown. A pass play here and a big time hit. Oh baby, he was shot out of a cannon that time. That is Chris Cole, the freshman quarterback, making an impact. Sent him on a corner blitz unblocked, and he absolutely leveled the quarterback that time. Great dial up by the defensive coordinator on first down. Following the big hit, 2nd and 15 for the Pirates. Drop back to pass once again. This one thrown to the outside, taken in over there by Brad Bennett. He gets 9 yards back on the play. Still going to be a 3rd and 6. Seeing a couple of 6-yard passes on this drive. We'll see if the Pirates have one more in them. Snap is away. Pressure up the middle, but it looks like Bennett's going to break free. Brad Bennett with an excellent route to shake his man, cut to the inside and picks up 20 yards on 3rd and long. And that gives the Pirates a fresh set of downs. They are now inside the red zone looking to score. Hill drops back once again. This time nobody open. Good coverage on first down. Forced to throw that ball away. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. We'll see what the Pirates do here on this play. They haven't ran the ball too much today. They've really gone with the pass, some short passes. But a big rush earlier on this drive. This time, once again, hands the ball off to McBride. Tough running for the running back, and he's going to pick up 11 yards on 2nd down. So I was just saying, they haven't run the ball too much today. That time they break it out once again, and they are now at the 6-yard line looking to punch this ball in and tie this ball game up here on the road. Screen pass here, as a nice tackle there by Eddie Jennings, the senior linebacker, able to save a touchdown from Ryan McBride. They do pick up a few yards as they are now inside the 5-yard line. That could have been a touchdown if not for the outstanding play by the senior linebacker. Going 5 wide here as Hill is going to take it himself. Good backside pursuit as Jeff Hill only able to get 1 yard. I think that was designed quarterback draw. Unable to punch it in. And it's do or die time here if you're the Pirates. As there's good pressure up the middle, and Cooper, he had it, but he dropped it. Oh boy, maybe he heard footsteps. There was a guy coming straight at him. Boy, that should have been a touchdown for Cooper. Luckily for Wake Forest, the receiver dropped it, and Eastern Carolina is going to have to settle for a field goal. They do get points back, however. That brings the score 6-10 in favor of Wake Forest. But boy, if you're Eastern Carolina, that's got to be a little bit deflating. Could have had a tie ball game. Instead, they're down 4. They're going to want their defense to step up and not allow the Deacons to drive down and get any more points here in the first half. Here we see some highlights here from this first half. Big hits to Sean Merritt. Both sides. So now from their own 25-yard line, all 3 timeouts for the Deacons. Minute 42 left to go here in the first half. As a kind of a poor pass that time. Didn't look like anybody was open. Looks like he was just trying to dump that one off to Boyd on the right side. Falls incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends for the Deacons. Cornerback's playing way off. Merritt takes the snap. He's got a drag route over the middle. Throws it to Rich. Breaks 1 tackle. Couldn't get away from the second man. Anthony Rich with a 7-yard reception on 2nd down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. We'll see what the Deacons want to do here. So if they don't get it, they risk giving the ball back to ECU, and you never know if they could go down and drive themselves. Potentially score, tie this game up, or take the lead, or get within 1 point. Merritt checks at the line. Snap away. This one's going to be handoff to Boyd. He's got a lot of room up the middle. Out to the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the rush. It's going to bring up 1st and 10. Forrest going quickly, but not overly so. I don't want to leave any time if they can go down and score here. This last drive of the first half. 2 tight ends once again. This one thrown over to Ward. J.R. Ward had the ball, dropped it. Big hit by the strong safety. Perhaps a cornerback that time, but a good play. Could have had a 1st down. Instead, it's incomplete, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now Merritt in the backfield with Tucker. Just one receiver, or excuse me, one running back, 4 receivers. Snap away. And an awful throw that time. Not even sure who that was to by Merritt. Looks like he had a couple guys open, including Bobby Larson to the outside, maybe Anthony Rich to the outside. He's lucky that one was not intercepted by the strong safety, but not a strong throw that time by Deshaun Merritt. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 10, a crucial 3rd down here in this first half. 3 wide this time for the Deacons. As pressure is going to get home to Deshaun Merritt. Big time sack for the Eastern Carolina Pirates. Sidney Peterson picks up his 2nd of the first half. And now Eastern Carolina is going to have an opportunity to take over, perhaps score here before the end of the first half. A mistake that time by Deshaun Merritt. Should have thrown that ball away. This punt is going to be muffed by Fisher back around his own 20. Able to make something out of nothing all the way back to the 35-yard line. So 33 seconds and 2 timeouts for the Pirates. As they're looking to, pull something. Upset might be brewing here in Winston-Salem. Pirates come out 4 wide as they have done most of this ball game. Good inside move by the D-line, but Hall is going to be open over the middle. 13 yards on the 1st down reception. Jim Hall with a nice route that time to get open over the middle. And Eastern Carolina just about at midfield, looking to pick up about 30, maybe 25 more yards. I'd at least love to come away with a field goal attempt, if not a touchdown here. But Hill's going to find Falk to the outside, all the way down inside the 10-yard line. James Falk with a 43-yard reception. And boy, oh boy, the Pirates have something brewing here towards the end of the first half. Clock still running, no timeout for Eastern Carolina. Snap is away, good pressure up the middle. Hill throws it over the middle. Ooh, almost intercepted. Eddie Jennings tried to snag that one out of the air. The middle linebacker just couldn't quite haul it in, however. And it's going to bring up 2nd and goal. That would have been a huge momentum shifter for the Deacons. Instead, Eastern Carolina will get another opportunity here on 2nd down. Hill pressured once again. This nice tackle once again. I think that was number 54, Brian Clancy. And a big play by the senior to keep the tight end out of the end zone. Eastern Carolina forced to try a field goal here towards the end of the first half as we get a little bit of gamesmanship by the Wake Forest coach. Calls the timeout, tries to ice the kicker. We'll see if that affects special teams unit here for Eastern Carolina. 2 makes on the afternoon so far. 3rd one is down, up, and it is good. So Eastern Carolina goes off the backs of some of their defense. And a big play that time by Falk to the outside. They're able to bring this ball game within 1. As we check in with the studio, see that Texas and Maryland are now tied. 8 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter there. The kickoff once again is away. This time it's going to be very deep. Looks like Watson's going to bring this one out, trying to make something here happen towards the end of the first half. Able to shake one man to the outside, but not quite enough room that time. As he gets about 30 yards on that return, but that'll mark the end of the first half by a score. Eastern Carolina 9, Wake Forest 10. So we'll see if the Pirates can continue this defensive onslaught. They have to get some offense if they're going to want to pull this upset. As for Wake Forest, their offense has been a little bit disappointing. They've been unable to finish drives turn the ball over, taking quite a number of sacks. We'll see if the Deacons can live up to that preseason ranking or not. We'll be right back after this. We'll take a look at some halftime stats, and we'll give you our halftime player of the ball game. We're going to do this every game. We're going to feature one player on the Wake Forest team. We're going to spotlight him, tell you a little bit about him, and what his aspirations are. Halftime here, Eastern Carolina and Wake Forest. And today we're getting to know the Demon Deacons quarterback, Deshaun Merritt, out of Northview High School. He's known as a bit of a clutch player, led his team to a 21-point fourth quarter comeback in the state semifinals his junior year, majoring in business administration. And his teammates were talking about his knowledge of movie quotes. They say there's not a practice that goes by where somebody doesn't quiz him, challenges him to give the teammates a quote from a random old movie, and without doubt Deshaun comes up with one. So exciting to see what he can do for the Deacons in his first season as a starter. We'll get back to the game right after this. So a very close game so far. I have to say Wake Forest has probably been a little bit better. They did have the one turnover that led to points directly. We'll see if they can clean some things up, stop taking so many negative plays and a couple of penalties and a couple of big-time sacks. They're really going to have to clean it up a little bit if they're going to want to pull away from Eastern Carolina. So as you know, you can't really let these teams stick around if you want to prove that you're a top-flight school in the nation. Second half is underway as Harold Allen boots this ball to start the third quarter. This one taken in by Fisher in the end zone. Quick touchback. And as we were saying, once again, the offense, roughly even plays. Again, that one turnover for Wake Forest, but they have outgained Eastern Carolina by about 60 yards here in this ball game and have one touchdown compared to Eastern Carolina's 3 field goals. So the Pirates set up once again, this time 4 wide. Running back shifts out to the left. Good pressure that time up the middle by the interior lineman. I think that was Rob Pratt working on the inside. Standout sophomore. I think that was Bill Snyder, the standout senior defensive tackle. As Pirates open up the second half with an incomplete pass. Good pressure once again by Snyder, able to force the throwaway by Jeff Hill. So a couple of good get-offs here to start the second half, as it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Pirates. Wake Forest would love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here to start off this third quarter. Hill back to pass once again, and this one, that one might have been able to be hauled in by Falk. So that cornerback might have gotten a hand on that one at the very last second. But for Wake Forest, they get a little bit lucky as that ball falls to the turf, and they force a 3-and-out in just 11 seconds to start this third quarter. Watson takes the ball into the 35, spin move all the way out to the 50, and inside opponent territory down to the 48. Joe Watson with a nice return set up the Deacons offense here. It's a brief break in the action. Let's take a look at the early season Heisman watch. A couple of quarterbacks on there, but Donnie Williams heads the list for a lot of folks. Set the single season rushing attempt record last year with 467 carries, as well as 2,000 yards on his way to the Doak Walker Award. We'll see if he can carry the Miners to a New Year's Six Bowl or perhaps even higher heights. Of course, Watson, the 5th receiver on this Demon Deacon team, doesn't see a ton of time on the field on offense, but a very good kick and punt returner. Deacons start off with 12 personnel. Merritt takes a snap, drag route underneath to Ward, shakes off a tackle at the 30, down to the 25. Oh my goodness, what a hit on J.R. Ward. He got absolutely thrown back. But a nice reception, yards after catch by the tight end, J.R. Ward, one of the seniors on this offense. Merritt hooking up with him for another big play See, it's going to be all the way down at the 24-yard line. And boom, there you see it once again, that big-time hit at the defender. But sets up the Deacons here now, close to the red zone. Merritt takes a snap, looks like it's going to be a play action. Dumps this one off to Bradford, the fullback. His second reception of the game, fighting for extra yards, and he's going to get 11 on the play. First down for Caleb Bradford. Able to keep those feet churning and pick up 11 crucial yards. Brings the Deacons all the way down to the 13th. So a couple of good drives here for the Deacons. 3 and out on defense, and now knocking on the door here to start off this second half. 11 personnel for the Deacons. They run this ball up the gut. Big time hole for Boyd, and he's going to gain 10 yards. Not quite enough for the first, however. But a nice run that time by Jamil Boyd. As now the Deacons are really knocking on the door in Eastern Carolina. They're going to ask a lot for their defense to step up, try to stop Wake Forest from getting in for 6. Backup running back is in. This is Anthony Tucker. 2 tight ends to the right side. Handoff to Tucker. He's got some space, and he's going to be in for 6. Anthony Tucker with the second rushing touchdown of the season. Second touchdown of the season for Wake Forest as they drive down without much resistance and are able to punch it in for 6. 4 plays, 46 yards, a little bit over a minute on that drive. And they take a lead here in the third quarter, 17-9. So a couple of good back-to-back drives for the Demon Deacons. And we'll see if they can continue that momentum, or let's see if Eastern Carolina can get back into the rhythm they found towards the end of the first half. Start hitting some short passes over the middle, drive down and respond as they have done a couple of times in the ball game. And there's another fair catch. We'll see the Pirates start from their own 25-yard line. Pass play once again for the Pirates as Hill finds Hall down the middle of the field, all the way down just outside of the midfield line out to the 48. 5 receptions for Hall in the ball game. He's having a heck of an afternoon here today. Hill once again in the backfield, takes a snap, swings this one out to Ryan McBride. Couldn't quite maintain his footing, however, as he goes out of bounds for a 4-yard loss. Not what you want to see if you are the Pirates coach right now. After that 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14 from their own 44-yard line. Cooper shifts left to right, 11 personnel for the Pirates. So a screen pass for the Pirates. McBride has a lot of space. Good block that time by number 63 for the offense, but quarterback able to just get in the way and force him to go out of bounds. Going to set up a 3rd and 7. Pass once again, Hill looking, and that one's going to be dropped once again by Hall. We highlighted him just a second ago. Had a big half so far. That time, a little bit too much traffic for him to hang on to the ball. Falls to the turf, and Eastern Carolina forced to punt the ball away once again. Nice boot that time by the Eastern Carolina punter. This one's going to drop inside the 5 and skip back through the back of the end zone. So the Demon Deacons are going to start on their own 20-yard line. Drove down very easily last time out on offense. We'll see what the Deacons have in store this time. 22 personnel this time. Bradford in motion, left to right. Merritt takes a snap, hands off to Boyd. He's got a bit of an opening on the outside. A nice ankle tackle that time by number 98 for Eastern Carolina. Looks like Boyd had a lot of open turf in front of him. Couldn't quite break out of one tackle, however. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Bunch formation to the right, including 2 receivers and 1 tight end. J.R. Ward, Rich, isolated all by himself on the left side. Boyd in the backfield. Merritt takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the left, looking, and he's going to get out of bounds. That might have been a late hit over there. No call by the ref as Merritt picks up 4 with his legs. Only really the second time we've seen him use his mobility here in this ball game. A crucial 4 yards it was. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Once again, 22 personnel for Wake Forest. Ball handed off to Tucker. He's got some space up the middle. He'll pick up 6 yards on the ground that time, and a 1st down for Anthony Tucker. Wake Forest being very methodical here in the second half. Not going too quickly. No reason to speed it up. No reason to slow it down at this point. 2 tight ends out. 2 receivers. Boyd in the backfield for Merritt, as indeed that's who he's looking for. But perhaps not the best option that time for Merritt, as Boyd unable to pick up much after snagging that ball. In fact, I think he might have just got back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Deacons. It's again 1 tight end, 1 running back. This is Tucker in the backfield alongside Merritt. Snap away. Fine. Strikes over to Bobby Larson. Nice pass by Sean Merritt. That timing route. Bobby Larson able to come back. Almost could have been a face mask. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a grab that time towards the end of the play. No call, but a big play that time for Bobby Larson to pick up a big 1st down on 2nd down. Time a draw play. Hands the ball off to Tucker. It's taken down for a 5-yard gain. A little shifty runner, Anthony Tucker is. He was more of a receiver back in high school, but the coaches really liked what he could do, in the backfield. So that's where they've put him, and he has really taken that role to heart. 2 tight ends this time now for the Deacons. Merritt takes the snap. It's like Ward is all by himself. He takes that ball in all the way down to the 30. Shoves off 1 man, still fighting, all the way down inside the 10-yard line. 41 big yards for J.R. Ward, who is having himself a heck of a game. So he shoves number 49. He says, "Get off me," engages with the linebacker, but drags him 10 yards down the field, all the way to the 9. And another big play. He has really been the standout player on offense here tonight for the Demon Deacons. 3 wide receivers now for those Demon Deacons. Merritt takes a snap, option play, but perhaps not the best time for it, as ECU sniffed that one out right away. Robert Gibson gets in the backfield and brings down Merritt for a loss. 2nd and goal now from the 13-yard line. Deacons coming out with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers left. Merritt takes a snap. He's going to the corner. This is Bobby Larson, and it is going to be intercepted in the end zone by Robinson. A fantastic play on the ball by the cornerback. Looks like he might have had a little bit of space behind him. That ball could have been thrown up a touch higher, but an excellent play on the ball by the cornerback that time. A 2nd turnover of the game comes inside the red zone for the Demon Deacons. And the fans are not going to love that. After that interception, ball is handed off to Ryan McBride, brought down in the backfield by Brian Clancy. Clancy, the senior outside linebacker. As we highlighted him and Eddie Jennings, 2 of the senior leaders on this defense. They've got a lot to prove this season. They've heard some of the talks, so their linebackers are maybe not the best in the conference. They want to show that they can, in fact, be one of those elite groups here in the ACC this season. Hill takes the snap, and he's going to fire this one out of bounds. Not quite sure who that ball is thrown to. Didn't look like he had too many options, however. Maybe a smart play to get rid of that one. So he's going to bring up 3rd and 13. Deacons' defense has been outstanding here today on 3rd down. ECU just 1 of 13 so far in the ball game. Hill drops back, throws it, fires it, completes to Hall. Hall not able to stay in bounds. His 6th reception of the game will go for about 7 yards. But it will be 4th and 6. ECU forced to punt the ball away once again. Ball is away, going to be taken in around the 40-yard line for Watson. Watson gets some good blocks off to the left, able to get 12 yards on the return. And the Deacons set up inside opponent territory. It's that turnover. The coaches are going to want to tell Merritt to settle down just a touch. Can't afford to be turning the ball over. They will not go down and score on this drive and really play off the strength of their defense. Good pursuit that time by number 58, the linebacker coming in, Trent Johnson, able to take down Boyd in the backfield. Almost looked like a missed block by the pulling guard. As Johnson able to use that quickness to get in the backfield and bring down Boyd for a tackle for loss. So 2nd and 11 now, 2 tight ends, 1 running back for the Deacons, 2 receivers, 1 either side. Drag route this time to Ward. Once again, J.R. Ward making the most of his opportunities. A key receiver here for Deshaun Merritt and the Deacons tonight. His 6 receptions on the ball game lead the team. After those 5 crucial yards, it's going to bring up 3rd and 6. 3 receivers, Caps in the slot to the left, 1 tight end. That's Ward once again, just had the reception. Merritt shakes off a tackler. No, he couldn't get away. I thought he was going to break free, but he is going to be taken down by Sidney Peterson once again. See on the replay, it looks like he almost got away, but got tripped up by his own offensive lineman. And that's unfortunate for Deshaun Merritt. Looks like he might have had some space up the middle to scramble out of there. Instead, he's going to go for a sack of 3 yards. And the Deacons forced to punt it away. Campbell boots it. This ball is going to hit at around the 9. And, just hops over the line. He's had 2 of those here in this ball game and have almost stayed out of the end zone. Instead, it rolls a few too many yards, goes through the back of the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback, setting up ECU now at their own 20-yard line. Snap is away. Hill fires it over to Gray, who had nothing but open space. Jeremy Gray, 13 yards on 1st down. His first reception of the ball game. Brings out the Pirates to the 34-yard line. Pressure on the outside. This one fired over to Falk, who was uncovered. James Falk, who would pick up 1st down after it looks like there might have been a bust in coverage on that left side. Jeff Hill making a fantastic read as ECU has very quickly gotten to almost midfield. Hill once again, this time over the middle. Once again, Falk on the reception. Back-to-back receptions for the standout receiver. Back-to-back 1st downs for the standout receiver. Looks like the Pirates are in a rhythm now as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter. Hill takes a snap, get a bit of a bubble screen off to the right side. Hall makes a move to the outside. He's still going down to the 15. Jim Hall with an excellent catch and run. The number 1 receiver of the game so far for the Pirates. That's his 9th reception of the ball game. Not quite at 100 yards, but having himself a heck of a game out of the slot here for the Pirates today. So thrown to Bennett, and Bennett cuts it upfield. Brad Bennett is going to be in for 6 for the Pirates. Big strike by Jeff Hill that time to Brad Bennett. He had a couple of drops in the first half. He comes back and redeems himself. Gets in for 6, and the Pirates are just a 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game up. Certainly the Pirates will go for it as we just about are into the 4th quarter, as they are really now sniffing that upset. Hill drops back to pass, and he finds Jackson open towards the near pylon. And he is going to tie this ball game up. Speaking of upsets, looks like Texas was able to sneak out with a victory. Just a 7-point one over the Terrapins. But as number 8 escaped an upset, we'll see if number 7 can do the same. As this kickoff is away, and we are back where we started. Tie ball game. We have 1 more play left in the 3rd quarter. See if the Deacons want to do a couple of turnovers in this ball game for Merritt. Bradford left to right in motion. This ball handed off to Boyd. Decent blocking to the right, but just 3 yards on 1st down. So after 3, ECU 17, Wake Forest 17, and an upset is brewing here in Winston-Salem. As we get set for fourth quarter action here in today's ball game, let's take a quick look to see what's coming up on tonight's national broadcast schedule. Plenty of exciting college football games all around the nation, headlined by Nebraska and Ole Miss. The number 11 and number 22 teams will square off in the Cowboys Classic. Looking forward to that one. And let's get you set for quarter number 4. We'll see if the Pirates can continue their defensive prowess and will their team to a victory, or we'll see if the Deacons can right the ship on offense and prove why they were worthy of the number 7 ranking to start this season. Merritt starts the fourth quarter in a 3-wide set, 2 to the right, 1 tight end, takes the snap. This one thrown to Boyd, nice little dump off pass, 4 yards. Sets up a third and very manageable. Boyd's 5th reception out of the backfield here today. Merritt 19 for 29. 19 for 31. Not terrible, but certainly those 2 interceptions have been a key component in this ball game. 2 tight ends once again. This one thrown to Boyd, and he was open. He just couldn't hang on to the ball. That's unfortunate for the Deacons. They're going to be forced to punt this ball away. Looks like Boyd could have taken that one in, fallen to the turf, and had enough for the first down. Instead, it falls incomplete, and the Deacons are forced to punt this ball away. Fisher takes it in around the 25, gets out to the 26-yard line. Give him 4 yards on that return. That's about 25. Deacons defense has played pretty well today. However, they have allowed a couple of big plays towards the end of quarters. Let's see if they can step up a little bit here in the fourth quarter. This one dumped off to McBride with a very good tackle out there. And it is number 51, Eddie Jennings, the middle linebacker, is able to drop McBride back for a loss. Swing pass has not really been working here today for the Pirates offense. Following that loss, it's up 2nd and 13. 1 tight end, 1 running back, 2 receivers left. Now Falk in motion. They're going to join him on the left. Screen pass once again for the Pirates, and Snyder sniffs it out. Fantastic play by Bill Snyder, a senior defensive tackle. He read that play from the get-go. Was able to bring down McBride for another loss. So 2 consecutive negative passing plays for the Pirates. We'll see what they want to do here on 3rd and 14. Once again, the 3rd down defense been excellent for the Deacons all day long. Just 1 conversion allowed so far in 10 attempts for the Pirates. As this one's going to be intercepted by Williams. Is he in bounds? Yes, he is. DeMarcus Williams able to intercept Jeff Hill here in the fourth quarter. The sophomore cornerback jumped that route excellently on that late breaking outside pass pattern, and he is going to set up the Deacons with excellent field position. A great sign for the first turnover of the year by the Deacons defense and the sophomore DeMarcus Williams, one of their outstanding recruits from last season, a former 5-star cornerback. Here's Merritt taking the snap. Nothing open. He gets around the end. He's got nothing but open space in front of him. He's down inside the red zone all the way down to the 19. Just a little bit too fast that time for Peterson, who was chasing him on the outside. See that speed. He is a blazer in the backfield. It's one of those key components that these college offenses love to have here nowadays. Can't just have a pocket passer anymore. You have to have a guy who's able to pull it down and pick up some big-time yardage when it counts. After that big run by Merritt, now the Deacons inside the red zone. 1 tight end left, 2 running backs. Play action. We'll dump off to Bradford in the backfield. Bradford runs over a dude. Oh my goodness. Caleb Bradford showing his mettle. The senior fullback just leveled the linebacker, able to pick up 8 yards. 3 catches on the day for him. He has worked well out of the backfield when his number has been called upon. It's going to set up a second and very short for the Deacons. This one handed off to Tucker, spins back. He's got some room to the outside. He hops into the end zone. Anthony Tucker, his second rushing touchdown of the ball game, as the Deacons retake the lead here in the fourth quarter, following their 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. That score definitely set up from the interception by DeMarcus Robinson. So defense leads to offense, tale as old as time, as Anthony Tucker once again rumbles in for his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. The Deacons carry a 24-17 lead with a little under 5.5 minutes to go here in the 4th. Another boot by the kicker, as the Pirates will start off on their own 25 once again. Had a good drive at the end of the 3rd quarter, a good drive at the end of the 2nd quarter. But outside of those, have been pretty inconsistent. They've had a couple of big plays here and there, but nothing sustained outside of those 2 drives. We'll see what they've got here in the tank here in the 4th quarter. Good pressure on the outside by Sparks, but Hill able to get it over to Cooper for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 following the reception. Again, the Pirates stacking up in their no-huddle offense, able to find Hall over the middle. That Hill-to-Hall connection has been absolutely lethal here. 8 receptions now on the day, and Hall up over 100 yards here on the ball game. As the Pirates get out to their 45-yard line, just a few yards shy of midfield. Good pressure up the middle once again by Bill Snyder, who's having himself a heck of a game against that right guard and center at time, forcing Hill to just chuck that one out of bounds. Still sticking with that 4-wide set. 3 rushers for the Deacons as this ball is thrown out to Bennett, who was almost able to pick up the 1st down. Brad Bennett, of course, had that touchdown just a drive ago. This time able to pick up 9, sets up the Pirates with a 3rd and 9. Pressure off the edge for the Deacons, picked up nicely by the right tackle and left tackle, and Bennett is once again found by Hill. After he picks up 9, another 5-yard out route. Able to give the Pirates another 1st down here as we approach the late stages of this ball game. Hill in the pistol now on the hurry up. Takes a snap, looking left, looking right. Nobody open, throws the ball away. Very savvy move by Jeff Hill. We've seen him do that quite a bit here today. Hasn't tried to force too much outside of that last drive with the interception, but he's been content to just take those little checkdowns. Nothing's been there. He's been content to throw the ball out of bounds. A very smart move, especially when you're going up against a pass rush as ferocious as Wake Forest can be. And speaking of that pass rush, never was a better segue. Tommy Gilmore gets in there with his 1st sack of the year. The preseason 2nd team all ACC right end. Him and Kevin Sparks, as well as Bill Snyder and Rob Pratt up the middle here tonight, have put a lot of pressure on Hill. Now, the sack numbers don't necessarily show it. Now, his number of incompletions certainly do. After the sack, 3rd and very long for the Pirates. 3rd and 17, just about at midfield. 4 wide here now for the Pirates. Hill drops back, and this one's on the turf. Strip sack. Snyder picks the ball up. Not quite sure who knocked him down. Bill Snyder gets the recovery on the strip sack. They're going to say that was Tommy Gilmore. No, I believe that was Kevin Sparks. So back-to-back sacks for this Wake Forest defense. This pass rush has really come alive here in the 4th quarter. And another turnover for this Demon Deacon defense. This time picked up by Bill Snyder. And the Demon Deacons can almost put this ball game away with a long drive and another score here. We'll see what the coordinator wants to do. Snap is away. This one's an option by Merritt. Just takes it, and he's going to smartly slide down. After a 5-yard gain, content to take his yardage. as he wants to keep this clock running. Wants to chew as much of it off the clock as can. 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line for the Deacons. Boyd in the backfield with Bradford as well. J.R. Ward to the outside. This one handed off to Boyd. He's got some room on the right side. He's able to pick up 8 yards on that 2nd down rush. Another nice gain on the ground for Jamel Boyd. Deacons' rushing attack has been pretty outstanding here today. As we approach 3 minutes left to go in this ball game, Wake Forest really running the clock down now. Merritt takes the snap. Finds J.R. Ward on the little zigzag route. A nice route that time by the tight end. Once again, Merritt finds his favorite target, J.R. Ward, 170 yards in this ball game. Just a fantastic showing by the tight end. For the Deacons, he's looking like he could be an all-conference type of player. As that completion sets them up with a 1st and 10. They still have enough room for another 1st down, although not much of it. Another option play. This one's taken by Merritt. He's got some room up the middle. He's in for 6. Deshaun Merritt, another touchdown for the Demon Deacons. Their 4th rushing touchdown of the ball game. 2 by Tucker, 1 by Boyd, and now 1 by Deshaun Merritt. And that puts the Demon Deacons up by 2 scores with a little bit less than 2.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. And their offense has really shown a lot more in this 2nd half. Looks like whatever the coach did at halftime really woke their players up. Looks like Ward was out on that play. We're getting word from the sideline, but he'll be back. Just a mild bruise on his foot. Fisher once again takes the touchback, and if you're the Pirates now, you've really got to go down and score on this drive. Excuse me, that was J.R. Ward that we were hearing, not Josh Ward, J.R. Ward. After he caught the touchdown, or excuse me, he caught the big gain to set them up for that touchdown. He'll be back there for the next series. Just a little bit of a shakeup. Here's Hill. Once again, good pressure by the defense, and this one almost intercepted. A very dangerous pass. Mike Neal had his hands on that ball. Couldn't quite snag it in, however. It looks like Hill is really forcing the ball down the field now. We'll see if he can get a couple of in-rhythm passes. See if they can drive down the field and stay in this ball game. Finds Lucas over the middle. Lucas spins around, falls down about 17 yards. 18 yards rather on that reception. Rondell Lewis, his 1st of the game. Hill now up to 30 completions, just about 300 yards, although not the most efficient. Hill once again in the pass pattern. This time he's going to find Hall on the outside, inside Deacon territory. Jim Hall with a 15-yard reception, his favorite receiver here today. As the Deacon defense has gone a little bit soft, looks like they might need a little bit of pressure here to snap this game. Hill finds McBride up the middle. Deacon's not a huge fan of the yardage, but I'm sure they'll take the clock running here as we are now inside 2 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. Hill checks, audibles, and pass once again. He's going to find Lucas once again out of the backfield. Mondell Lucas, his 2nd reception of the drive and just the 2nd reception of the game. It's going to bring them all the way inside the red zone. And if you're Wake Forest, you really want to get a stop here, but it looks like we're going to have a false start on the right guard, I believe. We'll wait for the call from the official, as yes, it was. So a bit of a momentum killer if you're the Pirates. You had something good going. But 5 yards, not going to kill you at this point in the game. Still just outside of the red zone. Hill drops back. He's going for the touchdown, and he has got him again. Danny Brady, 23 yards. As ECU pulls within a touchdown, a big-time strike by the quarterback to the receiver on the outside, and ECU drives down in less than a minute. 6 plays, 71 yards for a touchdown. and they are back within 7. See if the coach wants to go for an onside kick here. Looks like indeed they will. They're trying to get back in this ball game. Game's not over if they don't get it. This ball away, and it's going to be recovered by Tucker. He's got some space to the outside. Spins around. Almost had something doing. Anthony Tucker, part of the hands team. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns in this ball game, and that one might have sealed it, although Wake Forest does need to pick up a first down in order to put this ball game away for good. Wake Forest comes out, ball is handed off to Tucker, just had that onside recovery. He's going to gain just a yard. We'll see if the Deacons can get a little bit more out of Tucker here. As it's now 2nd and 9. ECU called their first timeout of the half. Ball handed off to Tucker. He's got some space to the outside. Spins back in. He's going to go down around the 35. A big run for Anthony Tucker. And that was a boost that this offense needed, and that just about does it here in this ball game. Be a little bit of time left. If everything goes perfectly for ECU, they'll have about 2 seconds left, I believe. Tucker once again takes the ball. And in fact, I don't believe they will have any time now that I'm looking at the time. They've got just about 3 seconds if all 40 seconds were taken by Wake Forest. We'll see if any of these plays take off a little bit of time. Handoff once again to Tucker. And in fact, he's all the way out with a first down. Anthony Tucker seals the deal in this ball game. Give him 61 yards on the day. And that'll do it here as Wake Forest is able to survive the upset. A valiant effort put forth by the Eastern Carolina Pirates. They fell just a little bit short, but they do look like a team that could do some damage in conference. As for Wake Forest, a little bit of a disappointing performance. We highlighted some of their key deficiencies. Their pass defense is not the best in the conference, so they'll have to see if they can come up with some schematic fixes for that as we move throughout the season into conference play here in a few weeks. But for now, I want to thank you so much for watching. Final score, Eastern Carolina 24, Wake Forest 31. I have been Trev the Dev. If you enjoyed this broadcast and you'd like to continue watching through this series, I would encourage you to leave a like, a comment, or a subscription on this video. Until next time, we're signing off. Again, final score, Eastern Carolina 24, Wake Forest 31.